Where did I? Oh. Oh my god, where did I put my shoe? Ugh. Please excuse my yellow face. I am purging. Physically, mentally. Actually, I don't know why I had this on. I wanted to say, and also like a quick, like, I highly recommend, but the other day I was watching Everything Everywhere All at Once with my sister, and I just felt so seen. I literally was like, yes. As confusing as it was like trails and trails of literally just really how it is and how it all connects, and it is everything and it is nothing. It's won so many awards for a reason. A movie, I feel like, is how my brain works. Like, it's those random things that lead me to another, that lead me to another, that lead me to all these different paths. And also like constantly thinking about like, oh, but what if I did this and what if I did that? And I just thought it was also very fitting that this happened, that we finally watched this movie around this time where I'm just like coming into a complete like implode of just, oh, and it is continuously making me like, oh, all the time, which is a good thing. It is very crazy. It is very funny and silly. And yeah, like, just metaphorically, it just makes sense. I highly recommend. Do you guys see how big that airplane is? Like, why is it so low? Like, why can't I like see your windows? It's kind of hard to see, but those two dogs fighting, and I think one is a husky and the other one, I don't know what the other one is. A pit bull? But I thought it was two cats fighting. But it's two dogs. They're playing around. They're so cute. The stray cats are climbing over the fences. Okay. So I was doing research and I was looking up like if I should do publishing or self-publishing, like just to start off, I guess. And I really had no clue. But I've decided that I'm gonna self-publish because I have more control and I guess give myself more permission and freedom to like design the things that I want to do and how many words I want to do, and I have more control in that area, and no one has to like, you know, give me a deadline or like rush me or like make some type of deal or like take cuts if and when it does really well in the market. So yeah, it is going to be a little bit hard, but you know, someone's got to do it. And if I just rely on other people, it's just, I have too much of like a control and trust issue for me to be like, and insecurities for me to like put my book in the hands of other people who I don't know their intentions and they're just probably all about business, but I'm just like, I just want to get my words out there, man. Anyways, enough rambling. And then I just realized that I had more signs of it was here all along. The answers was all around me, in front of me. It is in everything that I do. And I was recording a couple of stuff earlier, but then I deleted it because I was like, I'm rambling. But I was going to talk about like, oh my god, you guys, what book title should I do? Because I don't know, but I have this notepad of song titles for like songs that I want to write, and these were like words and titles that I was like, oh my gosh, like these sound like I can write a song from these words or whatever. And I was reading, and on the top I put first EP will be called Poems or Poet, and then I like drew a picture of what it'll be. But then I ended up sticking with calling it PM because I didn't want to take away from the fact that it was still like a song. But really, in turn, the songs are like poems. So yeah, and it's just crazy because I wrote, this notepad is really old. It's like the last couple pages, and the ink is bleeding on the page now, but this was from a long time ago, like years ago, and I'm just now like realizing that I said it out loud. I said and told myself that these songs are like poems in a way, before I had the music idea in my head. The words were poems already, or the lyrics were poems already. Yeah. So I was looking at all of these titles and stuff, and I'm still in the process of like trying to like figure out what kind of book title I want. So I'm not going to reveal it now because I still need to do more research. But it's hard. It's fun, but it's a little bit nerve-wracking because I want it to be something that is very much me, but at the same time, like something that if I was just a person just passing by the bookshelves, that I would like see it and be like, ooh, that makes me want to read that. So it's very like hard, not hard, but like very like trying to find the balance between like the artist and the consumer, you know? Yeah. So there was that. And then I feel like this is not really like, oh, another sign, but there was a recent night, like 3 days ago, I think, and I decided that I was gonna read a book to help go to sleep because I don't do that, and I should. I used to, but I don't do it as often. So I grabbed this book and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I even had this book. And it's like not poems, but I guess poems, but they're like short little narratives of stuff. And I was like, Karen, you can do this. Like, I don't understand. I think I was just at that point where I was like, but who? And it was kind of like, but even you have a book like this. And even though I'm not finished it because I haven't touched a book in a while, like the pages that I have marked down is like almost every page. So that just made me feel better because I was like, it's gonna be all right. And on top of that, I was looking at like the publishers and stuff like that. So I thought that was really interesting. And then I meant to grab this book to read, and I was reading this for a good while. It's a self-help book, and I'm almost done, but not really. Like I just made it to like the halfway point, past the halfway point. And I was looking at the publisher for this too, and their running press. And I turned to the inside page, and usually they have like information here to say all the little extra details that no one really reads, but I like to read them sometimes. And I looked and it said Running Press Philadelphia, and I was like, oh my god, what a coinky dink. Wink, wink. So yeah, I thought that was really cool and interesting. And I looked up this place, and it was a little bit hard navigating to, but eventually I like figured like how to like get in and where I could put submissions and stuff. And it wasn't from this place specifically, but it was just from other people, like other publishing companies. And I was like, okay, this looks kind of easy, but there wasn't no guarantee. You know, it was very much like the idea of like trying to get a record label to hear your song and for them to be like, hey, can you sign me? And then all of the business and like, you know, contracts and risk factors of that. So that just, as interesting and tempting as it was, I was like, I think I'm good on my own. I think I can do it. I can manage. So yeah. And then what was it? Oh yeah, and then there was another evidence that I forgot, that on Instagram, I forgot that I was already following people who write poems and like short little, I want to say excerpts, but I don't know if that's the right word, but like little stories or short little like narratives in every page and stuff like that. And I was remembering Rupi Kaur because I was like, she's really, really, really popular for her Milk and Honey book. And so I was looking up what she did, and she also self-published after everyone told her no, and after she tried submitting pieces of her work to magazines and journalists and newsletters. And she just like, you know what, I'm gonna put my whole entire piece of work instead of selections of it, because she was like, this is a disservice to myself. I'm gonna do this. And bam, it touched people. And then besides Rupi, I was on Instagram and I was like, oh my god, I forgot I follow this person and this person and this person and this person and this person. And they're all people who write like these short little pieces that just like, oh my god, it just felt so relatable. And the fact that it is written in a book is just, it just feels like, it doesn't feel like, it feels like an old, and I don't want to say intelligent, but when you think about books, you think about like, I guess intelligent people, but like being able to use your words in a way to express and have it make sense and resonate with millions of other people, I think is so crazy and an art, honestly, within itself. And is a whole nother world that I feel like failed to appreciate, because in this day and age it's very much like technology and all that, but you never go back to, you know, the paper and pencil. So I thought that was really interesting that I was following all these people, and I just, it was a post that I was like, oh my god, that resonates with me so much. Like, scroll. And I never took the time to like think about the person behind it, you know? And that sounds so sad and messed up, but as I'm going through the process, I'm like, dang, that's so crazy. So I came across this other post from another writer, and her name is Samantha King Holmes. And I feel like a lot of people have seen her work too. And this was around the time when I was like going through so much heartbreak. And I follow her and her husband. And I was searching up also for Samantha, like, well, how did she do it? What did she do to get her book out there? What was her process? What was her story? And I think I read somewhere that she started off with songwriting and then it went to poetry. And I just thought that was so crazy. I was like, okay, I had to see that. And I just thought it was so like another coinky dink, wink, 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 you know? So, yeah. So that is what I have been going through. Yeah. I was gonna say it's a little tough because I'm trying to like start like a little business plan of how to like execute this, but at the same time trying to like gather up all of the passion and spark in me and motivation and inspiration to be like, you guys are not gonna be ready for this. I'm gonna blow you away. But like not be hype about it, but just really like gather up all of the magic that I have and just like try to precisely like place it on the page, and then hopefully it will get into the hands that it needs to get into. But it's very like tedious process. Like how when I was talking about the Etsy business thing, it is very much like that right now, where I'm kind of just like thinking, okay, so to do this, I'm going to need this, and for this, I'm going to need that. And all at the same time, I'm also trying not to put so much pressure on myself of thinking about the numbers of everything. And I think that's what's scaring me and slowing me down a little bit, because I feel like if the numbers are not, showing, then that means that I'm worth nothing. But it's not that. That's not how it works. And just the fact that I'm doing this is more than enough, way more than enough. It is the right thing. It is exactly what I should be doing. So, and that is something that I have not said out loud and just came out of nowhere. So, period. It was the voice of the higher beings. Yeah, of the higher self. So now I'm just figuring out that I have another piece of paper that I also wanted to talk about, but I'm already like 15 minutes in. But I'm just talking about overall what life has been these days. But I mean, it's weird because like right now I'm like, ooh, this sounds exciting in this little world of mine that I'm trying to create. But in the world around me, things are very much crumbling. And it is sad, but at the same time, it's kind of like we've been through this so many times. And it was just perfect timing, really, with the way that all the planets were shifting and all that. But just perfect timing with like, if you didn't realize it then, let me take it away from you so that way you can realize it now. And it's just very eye-opening to see, like, and just to be like like a confirmation of like, as you can see, you did not need this. It was already broken. There was no point of trying to go back and fix it. Leave it and let it go. Keep moving. Okay, keep moving, because something better is coming. So yeah, basically that's what I wrote in that other little note. But I guess that one was kind of boring of saying it. But yeah, that's what's been going on. But yeah, nothing new, nothing crazy. I hope everyone is well. I don't know what's going on in everyone else's lives, but I feel like in a way, we're all feeling it. It's very strange. It's a strange time right now. It's very much like, can I be happy right now when things are sad? But it's like a knowing that, oh, things are going to get better, and there's a bunch of us, and someone's doing the work, and you got to do yours, so don't overwhelm yourself, and just kind of stay focused. Keep your head up, and keep walking. Okay, I gotta stop talking because it's getting like too cheesy. Bye. I can't believe I didn't do my Wow, the subtleties.
Girls. Okay. Oh, he has long hair.
Yeah. I told him, like, why don't you just
Diane Sawyer.
cut it?
Diane.
Can you guys see this beautiful strand of white hair? It's not completely white though. The end is still kind of dark. It like fades somewhere here, but OMG. This is not my first one, but this is the first one I'm keeping in my hair. Just behind my ear.